Hello. Let's see what we're making today. Hey, hey, what we're making today. Today we are going to make a shaggy rug. Now, to make a shaggy rug, you're just going to need real simple things. And your shaggy rug, okay, this is what the shaggy rug is going to look like. But this is an example. It's going to be a shaggy rug. It's going to have a lot of shag to it. Okay, when we finish, it's going to be all covered up. So to start off, to get your shaggy rug, you are going to need, it says latch hook canvas. That's what you're going to need, a latch hook canvas. Okay, and it's just a rug. And I got, this particular one is not that. This is just one of many I have. But I actually got a matting. And this is kind of like a rubbery type matting, which if you want it for like the bathroom or anything, just a rub mat. This one has a little bit more grip to it. So it's probably not going to slide all over the floor. Okay, so I just got a regular, and you can get it from Joann, Michaels, Hobby Lobby, or from Amazon. And it should cost you less than $10. If you go to you always have a coupon, so it's less than 10 to do that. And you're going to need some yarn of your color choice, whatever you want to make, your color choice. You're going to need about, depending what size you get, my rug is pretty large, so you're going to need at least 4 of these. I need at least 4. I recommend getting all 4 of your skein of yarn at the same time if you're going to use the same color, because if not, those who've been doing yarn for a while, you know if you don't get all at the same time, you're going to have different color reds. Okay, you need that, a pair of scissors, your hand, your hand, or you can use a toilet paper roll if you like. Not a pom-pom maker. This is not a pom-pom rug. This is a shaggy rug, so it's not going to be even, so it's not going to be pom-pom. And if you want to be precise, you can have a tape measure if you're just one of the people that just need to know exactly what your measurements are. I really didn't use a tape measure when I first started, but I'm just going to use it for the video, or if you want to know how long to cut your strings. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, remember, I am the singing crochet lady. I should probably put that on my thing, singing crochet, because I'll break out into a song in any moment. Okay, so let's get started. Here we go. The first thing to do is your yarn. Now, you're going to need to cut your string, and as I indicated, if you want to be precise on how long it should be, I cut it to 12 inches. 12 is pretty good. You can do longer than 12, it really doesn't matter, but 12 is a nice size. Okay, so like I said, I just winged it. I kind of eyeballed it, and I cut the string like so, like so, like so. And you want to do this part first. You want to have your string cut first before you start making your ball. And you're going to take your string, lay it flat on the table. I'm going to bring this down a little bit more so you can see, lay it flat on the table. I think I'll bring it back here, you can see it better. Lay it flat. Now, and here's something else about your yarn. If you can, it's no big deal. You want to pull your yarn from here if you can find the string to pull from here. You can pull from here if you can't find it, you end up wrapping around. The only thing about this, it just takes a little bit more time, a little bit more cumbersome because you got to take it around. So I highly recommend, if you can, if you can't, no big deal. Just however you get the yarn off. Pulling from here makes it easier to twirl around your hand. Okay, so I'm going to pull from here, and I'm going to wrap it around my hand. And I'm going to wrap it between, hope my hand's not too ashy. I'm going to wrap it between here and here. I'm not going to go further than right here on the palm of my hand. Now, if you have a toilet paper roll, you can wrap it around there. If you want to wrap it around your phone, whatever you want to wrap it around, use your hand. I think the hand is the best one besides the toilet paper roll, which I don't have an example of. So you do it like this, and you take it, put it in your hand like that. Don't have it linking off. Don't link it off. Make it in the palm. Bring it up like that, and you just start wrapping it around. Wrap it around, and you can wrap it around like 30 times. You count 1, 2, 3. And that's why I say between here and here, because if you get off a count, because I'm talking, so I'm not going to be able to count to 30 because I can't talk and count at the same time. But I can see between here and here. So I'm going to wrap it around. But if I wasn't talking and doing this, I would actually be counting this around 30 times. And I'm going to make a nice little thick round. I'm going to keep going round and round and round we go, round and round and round we go. See, and try to, now see, I can tell you now this is too tight. Because see, I can't pull my fingers out. See, I can't even open my fingers, so that's too tight. And I'm going to show you. It's too tight. I'm going to take it off because I'm not going to be able to get this off my hand, so it cannot be wrapped around your hand too tight. I'm actually going to take this off. and start over. And I'm glad I did that so you can actually see what would happen if it's too tight. And I'm going to show you how you can know it's too tight. Okay, start over, show you the difference. And that was tight because it was too tight around my hand. Start all over. I'm going to wrap it around. Now here's the thing when you wrap it around. I want my fingers not that loose around, but I want them wrapped around. So I'm wrapping around, wrapping around, wrapping around my hand, wrapping around. I'm going to tell you how it's not too tight. Because as I'm wrapping it, I'm just going to keep my fingers kind of open because it's going to make it easier to get out to pull this off, okay? So I'm going to keep wrapping. I'm going to go back to all the string I had on there. Okay. See, it's not too tight because I can actually spread my fingers out. If you can't get all four of your fingers spread out, that's okay. You do want these two spread out. That way you know it's not too tight so you can get it off your hand. And just keep wrapping around. And again, I'm only going to wrap it up to here. From the tip of my palm from here to here is really where I'm wrapping this yarn. And I'm going to keep wrapping, 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 wrapping. Oh, yeah, yeah, baby. Okay, that's enough. Even I didn't get all the way up to here, but I can see it's pretty thick. And I'm going to take it off. Now, before I take it off, I got to cut it. Okay, so when you cut the string, don't cut it. Cut it kind of in the back, like up top here. You don't want it too long. I'll show you why you don't want it too long. So you're going to cut, clip, 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 cut. Now, remember that string we had right here? Okay, you have my string here. And you're going to take this off. Now, when you're taking it off, you're going to kind of, it's easier to take it off right here. Put your fingers in there, pull it off. And when you pull it off of your hand, make sure you take it and put a finger here and here so you can get that, see that nice little hole there? You want to see that. You want this to be taken off like this, like in a type of a hole. Because you're going to cut these folds here. So you want to be able to see how to cut your folds. So you want to make sure when you take it off, you can peek through there. Okay? You see that fold there? Let's see. Okay. And you're going to lay it right in the middle of your string. Don't lay it here. Don't lay it there. In the middle. If it's not right in the middle, hey, it's okay. It's a rug. Okay. Lay it there. Nice. Neat. Ta-da! Take the ends of your string. Bring them up. And you are going to make a tie. You tie it. Voila. And you tie it tight. And then as it's tied once, and you're going to flip it over and tie it on the back. You want 3 ties. One in the front. Then you're going to tie it again in the back like this. And when I tie it in the back like this, I actually make a second tie for the back. Like this. Make a second tie. And it's tied in the back like this. Voila! There. Now you have done it. This is how you're making the shag part. So now here's my tie part that I tied. So you hold it down like this. This is why you want it to be at least 12 inches, not more. So this is the part that's going to tie into the rug. So now you hold it about right here. And you see that little part there? That's fine. And remember that holes I said you see? You're going to see your holes. See, you can be able to cut your scissors right into the holes. Like that. Take the scissors and you want to clip that fold that you had on your yarn. And clip it. And you need a pair of good scissors too. Don't get no blunt scissors because that's not going to work. And you're going to cut anywhere you see a fold. See, I see a fold right there? You're going to cut it. Okay? And you're going to shake it because it's going to shake some of those pieces off. Okay? Turn it to the other side. Make sure you're not cutting the string. So I always like to hold mine up to the top like that. I find the folds. I stick the scissors in as much as I can. And then I just cut. I cut, 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 cut. And when you cut, you make it some more folds. Just cut all the parts where you see it folded up. Cut, 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 and just cut around, and you shake it. Shake, 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 shake me, baby. Shake, shake, shake. Now, after you shake it, I kind of hold it upside down. You can see some straggly ends like this. I clip it. I clip it. Because remember, it's a shag. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do not want it to kind of have anything really shaggy out. And you just, there you go. You have actually done it. See there? Okay, now I said I was going to show you why you need them when you're doing your fold. Then I just put my edges there. Okay, you're going to do it again. Again, I wing it. I just kind of eyeball it. Here's my string. You don't want it too long because you got to cut that. So you want it kind of 12 inches is a nice size. Okay, clip it. Now remember I told you don't have it hanging down. I'm going to show you why you don't want to start it hanging off your hand as opposed to here. Let's say I'm going to hang it here. I'm going to start rolling it around. Again, I'm going to just keep rolling around, rolling around, rolling around. Just gonna keep rolling around, around and around and around we go, around and around and around we go, around and around and around we go, round around we go. Okay, so I'm just going around. Remember, I'm gonna every now and then I'm gonna make sure I can wiggle my fingers, because if you can't wiggle your fingers, you're not gonna be able to get this off your hand, and that's not gonna be a good thing. So you want to keep going, and just a nice little around, just a nice little round like this. Okay, when I get it, feel like it's enough on there, if my hand is getting a little tight, I kind of pull it off there. Okay, so we pull it off and take it off. Oops, I forgot to cut. Oh, here's another reason why you don't want to cut down here. I'm going to show you all the reason why you don't want to do these long cuts. Okay, see, I started off with a long and I did a long cut. Okay, now I'm going to pull it off. Pull it off. Again, I'm going to make sure I can see the hole in between. I'm going to lay it flat like this. Okay, I'm going to tie it. Tie, 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 tie. I'm going to tie it once. And then I'm going to turn it around and tie it twice. Okay, here's my second tie. Then I'm going to do my third tie in the back end. Okay. And now remember, here's the reason. So now you got all these extra long strings hanging out. So I'm going to grab the two. You always want to make sure you got the two that you're going to grab the two. And I usually hold it like that as I'm cutting, because I'm going to go in between the folds, the hole. I'm going to find, you can find a little hole to get into. It may not be able to get all the way through, but if you can, great. Don't worry about it. And then you just cut. And then you'll be able to see the other folds once you cut that very initial one. And you'll see some down in there. Just cut them. You will see a fold. You just cut it. Turn it to the other side. Look for your little hole there. And just cut. And you cut. And just cut. Cut, 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 cut. Okay. And you cut. And I shake it out. And here's why I said don't start. See how you have this extra long? That's why we cut it too far, started too far. You got to cut that off. And it just, to me, just wastes a lot of yarn. I guess I don't like to waste as much yarn if I can. So that's why I like to start it not so long. So I'm not wasting, cutting a lot of yarn, not doing too much cutting. Then you just shake it, and that's it. And you just make lots of them. See, I make. So you just keep on. I suggest that you just do your whole roll, your whole skein. Just sit down in front of the TV and just start cutting. Just cutting. You don't sit at one time. Put it in a little plastic bag. Come back to it. Okay, and that's what you do. And I'll show you how we're going to put it on the rug. Now that you have enough now of these done, so you cut them. So now you're ready to put them onto your mat to make your rug. Now, if you use the rubber count like I have, you can see there's a smooth side and kind of like a bumpy side. You're going to work from, you're going to take your two strings like this. So there's two strings. That's why you have to make sure they were long so you can see. You don't start at the ends. I started like, you're going to go like 1, 2, and don't start at the very edge. You go 3 in. See, 3 in. So I'm going to go 3 in, and you're going to be tying between these lines right here. So you're going to kind of go 3 in, because remember, this is going to be shag. You don't really need to put it on the edge. Don't start on the edge. Kind of go 3 to 4 squares in. 3 to 4 squares in. So I kind of went in like this, put it through. I take the string. Can you see? Let's see, make sure. Take the string, pull it through this way. Then I pull the other string on the other side of it, like this. See how it's in there between those two? Look at that. See, it's in between the two lines. So you want to make sure you get in between the two lines of the thing. And then you just tie it. Just tie it. Tie it once. I always do 2 ties. I do 2 ties for it. So I did 2 ties. And see how that, see, it came right over to the end there. See, so I didn't really need to start at the end there because it's going to be shaggy. So then you want to do, now, you're going to be careful. I'm going to show you what happens if you don't get over to the side. So then you're going to go to the kind of count, because you did here, right? Kind of count over, again, 4 squares. 1, 2, I count 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to do it again. I kind of fold mine in half and look this way. I kind of do it opposite. So I kind of push it through like this. So I'm counting 4 squares over. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you do too many squares over, and show what happens if you do too many squares over. Okay, and you want to put it in between here like that, because you're going to put, you're grabbing the yarn in between these parts right here. So you're just grabbing the yarn, the ties that you had, you grab between the two. Oops, I'm holding on to it too tight. And then you tie it, okay? Tie it once, tie it twice, okay? And you just do this all the way over, okay? And you can see how it's coming out like that, okay? So you come over. And I can almost see, because this wasn't really thick, I almost see I probably need to put one in between there, but we'll see how it comes out. So I'm just going to go over 4, and I'm going to stick with this same row. You want to be consistent with the rows that you do when you're doing the cross. So you be consistent with the row. Make sure you're like 1, 2, 3, 4 and over. And I would say do about no more than 4, because you want it to be a nice thick shaggy rug. So just count 4 squares over, and I just count 4 squares over. And I make sure I'm 4 squares over in the same, oops, so you gotta make sure my square is like that. And you just put it through. And it's really easy, really fun once you get the hang of it. It's really not, and this is something you can just tie and do. As you're sitting watching TV, you just sit and tie it twice. Okay, and I'm gonna show you this real quick, because I'm doing 2 different colors. I'll show you the whole rug when it's finished. So you wanna put them through. Now, if you do them too far apart, you're going to get this big gap like I did here when I did the red. Okay, so you want to actually put them really, like I say, 4 spaces, because I didn't do my 4 spaces, but I can fill this in. Because you want, again, this is a shaggy rug, so when you finish, it should look really thick. See, this end is thick here. You don't, if I pull it back, you can't see, but right here you can. So that's why you want to do the 4. You know, make sure they're close enough, but not too close. And there you go. Okay, so go ahead. Fill it in, and then we'll see what your rug look like in a minute. Okay, this is just a tidbit. When you're tying it, make sure you tie it really tight and tie it twice, because what you don't want to happen, you don't want it to be too loose. Make sure you tie it tight onto the back part like this. Make sure it's tied twice, because what'll happen if you tie it too loose, you have a little ball hanging off like this. Look at one of mine. I'm gonna show you. It'll hang. You have a ball kind of like hanging out in the loose. Let's see if you can see it. See how this ball is kind of hanging? See that? See that hanging? You don't want it to be loose like that. You want it to be tight. So if you shake it, it's a shaggy rug. Okay? I filled up my gaps. So my gaps are all filled in. So I did fill my gaps up. And I'm just going to continue on with my rug until it's all complete. Now, at the back of it, you're going to see a lot of little long strings you had. Just cut them off. Take your scissors and just cut all those long strings off, because you've already tied your knot. So cut them all off, because it makes like a nice little backing. You have to all cut off and not all the strings hanging off. So let me show you what it looks like. I'm just going to cut one section off so you can see how nice the back looks. See, if I cut all the long strings, you don't want all those long strings hanging on the back. So you just clip the back, finish up your rug, and you will have a shaggy rug. It's really simple. This is a nice family project you can do. Everybody can pick their own colors. You can have all multicolors. You know, everybody pick their own thing, and they can all do their own little strings like this. You can make a family project. If you celebrate Kwanzaa, you can do a Kwanzaa thing. A women's wine and cheese. Well, even though we're doing virtual quarantine, you can still do, because I'm actually doing this with my daughter. So we can do a wine and cheese where you get together. You have all your, you can have one day where you guys are all just doing this, and then you come together and you actually put it together. So have fun. This is a fun project. I enjoyed doing it, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thank you. Okay, here is the finished product. This is what it looks like when it's all done. All my, and I put balls in there because I was making a W. And it's supposed to be my rug, so it's a W. And this is shag part. So I kind of put a little letter in the middle there. You see, it kind of look like a W. But this is what the shag rug looks like when it is finished. Hope yours look is nice, and hope you enjoy making it.